Hello guys, welcome back. We've got some major news to cover because the LA Sparks ownership just made a move that has a lot of people wondering if they're setting the stage for a future run at Caitlyn Clark. Stephanie White, Indiana Fever, Kelly Krauskopf, Amber Cox, and Lynn Dunn better pay attention because this story is getting more interesting by the day. As always, we've got to break down what's happening. I've been telling you guys for a while that the groundwork has been quietly getting laid. A lot of people laughed when Michael Thompson first talked about it, but I don't think the Lakers legend was just talking for the sake of talking. He has connections in Los Angeles, and he understands how this new ownership group operates. This is the same group that's already shown a willingness to make bold moves, and now they're looking to do the same thing with the Sparks. That's why I wasn't surprised when Michael Thompson hinted that the LA Sparks could eventually make a serious push for Caitlyn Clark. Whether you believe it or not, the pieces are starting to line up. Just last week, the Sparks signed Kate Martin, one of Caitlyn Clark's closest friends from Iowa days. Fans also noticed Caitlyn Clark wearing her CC1s in an LA Sparks-inspired colorway, which only added more fuel to the speculation. Now, does that prove anything? No. But if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, people are naturally going to start asking questions. Right now, the Sparks are making moves that have everyone paying attention. Before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button and hype up the video. Your support really helps the channel grow, so I appreciate everyone who takes a second to show some love. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this story. The LA Sparks have completely cleaned house. Reports say they fired their entire front office, including general manager Regan Paibley, and she wasn't the only executive shown the door. That's why this feels much bigger than a routine personnel change. It looks like the organization is preparing for a brand new direction, and we're about to take a look at the official statement that was released by the LA Sparks. Let's get into it. According to Yahoo Sports, the Los Angeles Sparks have agreed to part ways with general manager Regan Paibley. The team announced that assistant general managers Zach Knowlton and Nate Nielsen will serve as interim general managers. You know what that means. They're going to be bringing in a brand new GM, and you better believe this ownership group is going to scour the market for someone who can reel in the biggest fish of them all, Caitlyn Clark. Take a look at this. This is crazy. It's going down, y'all. It's going down like young jock. I've been trying to tell you, the Sparks have officially agreed to part ways with general manager Regan Paibley effective immediately. In the interim, GM duties will be shared by Zach Knowlton and Nate Nielsen. The organization released the following statement. We are grateful to Regan for her leadership and commitment to the Los Angeles Sparks and women's basketball, said managing partner and governor Eric Holloman. Her work on the Sparks roster and player experience will have a lasting impact on our organization. We sincerely thank her for everything she has invested in the Sparks and wish her success in this next chapter. Now, let's talk about why people are connecting the dots. First, Caitlyn Clark has a great relationship with Cameron Brink, a friendship that goes all the way back to Team USA days as high school players. Second, the Sparks brought in Kate Martin, one of Caitlyn Clark's closest friends from Iowa. Everybody knows how close those two are. Now, the organization has decided to move on from Regan Paibley, meaning they'll soon begin searching for a new permanent general manager. That's a significant move. The Los Angeles Sparks also have a new ownership group, and this ownership has made it clear they're thinking big. They're looking to make a splash and change the direction of the franchise. On the men's basketball side, that ownership group made headlines after the Luka Doncic blockbuster move involving the Lakers. Now, many fans believe they'll try to make another major splash on the WNBA side. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if they eventually look at Caitlyn Clark as the biggest possible target. Whether it happens or not remains to be seen, but the Sparks are clearly positioning themselves to make bold moves. Something is definitely brewing in Los Angeles, and this front office shakeup could be just the beginning. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens next. Now, this new ownership group has arrived, and it's clear they're looking to make major moves. They're not interested in standing still. They want to reshape the direction of the franchise. That's what makes this story so interesting. Now take a look at what Ramona Shelburne, longtime sports writer for ESPN and ESPN Los Angeles, had to say about the situation. According to Ramona Shelburne, Sparks ownership, the Walter Group, has been much more involved with the franchise this season, just as they have with the Lakers. From what I understand, this is more of an organizational shift than anything specific. That phrase, organizational shift, is what stands out. Ramona Shelburne is making it clear that the Walter Group isn't making random changes. This ownership group is actively involved and appears determined to build a new foundation that could have a lasting impact on the Los Angeles Sparks. The Walter Group has already shown it's willing to make bold decisions. They've become one of the most aggressive ownership groups in professional basketball, and many believe they're focused on bringing in the next generation of star power. That's why so many fans continue to connect the dots with Caitlyn Clark. She is unquestionably one of the biggest names in women's basketball, and if the Sparks ever wanted to make the biggest splash possible, her name would naturally be part of the conversation. Whether that opportunity ever becomes realistic remains to be seen, but don't expect the Walter Group to think small. As they search for a new general manager, many believe they'll look for someone capable of attracting elite talent and positioning the Sparks for a championship-caliber future. Now, we can't get into this video without talking about Sophie Cunningham. Everybody has been talking about this moment. When Sophie Cunningham stepped up to the podium, she practically broke the internet. The reaction on social media was unbelievable. What's even crazier is that Dana White said this wasn't a scheduled appearance. It wasn't something that had been planned in advance. According to Dana White, Sophie Cunningham simply mentioned that she'd love to step into the ring someday, and he immediately invited her up. It turned into one of the most talked about moments of the event, and fans couldn't stop sharing clips and reacting online.
When did you hire Sophie Cunningham as a ring card girl?
Why did I do it?
When did you hire her?
About 8 minutes before she did it. I love Sophie Cunningham. We've created a relationship, and she was here tonight. And when she walked in, she goes, "Oh, I want to walk around that." I said, "Then you're going to walk around it." Yeah.
Dana,
She's
all
fun.
the way.
Special artist, holding Vanessa's record. 17 wins, 3 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds, fighting at a Paris class, presenting the number 1 ranked UFC lightweight contender in the world, and the action begins. The referee in charge, Mark Honor.
That was Sophie Cunningham last night. Man, I want to know your thoughts about the LA Sparks making these moves. At the same time, many Indiana Fever fans believe the organization needs to move on from Amber Cox. The new ownership group could be searching for a general manager or executive who already has a strong relationship with Caitlyn Clark or her representatives. They're going to be looking to build the right partnerships, and I truly believe things are happening behind the scenes. I honestly think there's a chance this situation could take an unexpected turn. According to ESPN, the LA Sparks have missed the playoffs in each of the last 5 seasons and currently sit at 10 and 11, just outside the playoff picture in 9th place. However, they're coming off back-to-back victories after defeating Indiana on Wednesday and Chicago on Friday. The report also notes that the assistant general managers will take over on an interim basis. This situation is definitely moving, guys. There's no question about that. In my opinion, Reagan Paisley made some questionable roster decisions. One move that really stands out is trading Rakea Jackson to Chicago for Ariel Atkins. Personally, I think that was a huge mistake. I simply don't believe you trade a young talent like Rakea Jackson for Ariel Atkins. That's why I believe the LA Sparks are laying the groundwork for something much bigger. This ownership group has already shown it values star power. They were part of the ownership group that ushered in the Luka Doncic era with the Lakers, and I believe they'll explore every possible opportunity to make a blockbuster move if one ever becomes available. Whether that ultimately involves Caitlyn Clark remains to be seen, but it's clear the Sparks are positioning themselves to think big. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel if you enjoyed the video.